Dead or alive? It's a question, and the title of this video game, I choose alive. From 1996, here on the Sega Saturn, a title that's more associated with softcore porn video games than fighting games nowadays, but there was a time when this was more than just a bunch of irritating chicks playing volleyball. Dead or Alive is an excellent fighting game and works well on the Sega Saturn, although it should have had a different title, let's be honest. It should have been called Zero G Boobs. The most memorable feature of this game, which probably set the entire direction of the franchise. Bouncing breasts. There's even an option to turn them off. But, why would you? They use them for inertia to hit harder. But in order to truly appreciate Dead or Alive, you need to look beyond the breasts. Fellas, come on, I know it's challenging, avert your eyes. These girls are more than just bouncing breasts. They're also polygons. And Dead or Alive has excellent controls and gameplay that deserve to be noticed, because the bouncing breast feature is just a gimmick, albeit a catchy one. It's as if they knew their audience was young men. You've all been played. Dead or Alive, the first one, is an excellent fighting game on the Saturn that feels like a cross between the Tekken series and Virtua Fighter games. I was more familiar with the second one, which I had on Sega Dreamcast. In fact, we reviewed that for the original Game Room run way back in the day, and managed to squeeze in as many dirty jokes as possible for that review, too. Now, without being the master of explaining all of the intricacies and differences between these fighting games, what I can tell you is that Dead or Alive plays like a very straightforward fighting game, like Virtua Fighter. You can pull off extremely simple moves when you push a direction and push a button, but you can also get more complicated with elaborate button combinations and throws, which feels more like Tekken. Here's the handy-dandy training screen, which shows the button combinations, and as you can see, there's a lot of them. This is the Japanese version of the game, which was donated by Jose in New Mexico. Thank you again. And along with the command list, I also like how they show you the button combinations that you pull off at the bottom of this screen here. Simple yet effective. I've seen that in other games, but it's so nice to have. Especially when there's this many moves in Dead or Alive. Now, what you may not be able to see on screen is how responsive and playable this game is. While the Sega Saturn may be known as the game console to get for awesome Japanese 2D spaceship shooters, there's also a wide variety of extremely affordable, playable, fun fighting games. Like this one, Fighter's Mega Mix, and of course Virtua Fighter. Remix, don't get the first one. While there's not that many characters to choose from, they are all different and have a variety of different fighting styles. There's an arcade mode, survival mode, and of course you can play two-player against a friend. Dead or Alive on the Saturn may not be the least expensive fighting game out there. That award goes to Virtua Fighter. You can easily obtain this game from eBay. It'll cost you a couple bucks because I'm not entirely sure if it got a US release or a European release. Definitely Japanese. And one of the great things about the Saturn is how easy it is to play Japanese games. And there's no language barrier in here to worry about. Everyone speaks the language of boobies. If you have one of those 4-in-1 cards or something that allows you to play Japanese games, Dead or Alive can be had somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks. This was also released on the original PlayStation, and Dead or Alive 2 in various incarnations is on PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast. But if you just want to watch girls in their underwear play volleyball and jet ski, the Dead or Alive series has you covered as well, with such games as Dead or Alive Extreme 2 and Dead or Alive Paradise. And you can watch my review of Dead or Alive Extreme 2 to see what I mean. How they went from an excellent fighting game to that crap is beyond me. I'm assuming it's a business decision. I guess sex sells, fighting games are a dime a dozen. Fortunately, you can always buy Saturn and the original Dead or Alive and enjoy a kick-ass fighting game with your friends.